Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got somebody who is acting as judge and jury because we've got some truth we need to figure out. So, with the Three of Cups, we've got a friendship group, a social community, could be at a workplace, right? But it's about figuring out if anybody's telling the truth because it feels like maybe we're dealing with some folks that are a little bit too concerned over consequences and a little bit less concerned than they should be with being honest about what really happened and just kind of like accepting the reality of the situation. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. Hello, Rachel. Hello, famous Seamus. Hello, April. How's it going? If you would like a personal reading from me, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. And that's in the description box below the video, but you can also find how to join the memberships in a link right below that. And I do have some new videos for the members today that I'll be posting shortly. So let's start off. I think we'll use the Wild Reflections Tarot to start. Hello, Forsaken. I hope you're having a good day. I'm doing well, thank you, April. Hello, Johnny. How's your day going? Yes, indeed. Although I'm just a little bit lazy today, Rachel. I'm working on it. We've got 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, the 7 of Wands. Okay. So this feels to me like everybody's protecting their own interests. I didn't do what I should have done, but I want to make sure that I don't get blamed for it. I know I probably should have seen what was going on, or I know I probably should have said something, or I know I probably should have addressed this differently. Oh, thank you, James. I appreciate you. But I didn't. The Hanged Man is in the reverse because we have somebody that refused to change their perspective. And this is that stubbornness that I think has basically matured, if you can put it that way, into dishonesty, covering for themselves. King of Swords, 3 of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Yeah. Everything that I feel these 3 people are saying, it's in an effort to protect themselves. Well, I would never do that, or I never said that, or you must have gotten your facts wrong. There's no way that happened. What? No. Because there's a loss that nobody wants to claim. There's a debt. There's a missed deadline. There's something here that did not happen the way it should have. And everyone's like, it was them. It's definitely not me. Well, it has to be somebody. Magician in the reverse. It wasn't me. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Not my responsibility. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So the ball was dropped. Something pretty major happens here. A major client quits. A major employee asset decides they don't want to work with you anymore. You get caught doing something illegal and you go to jail. There's just so many ways this could be interpreted, but we've got everybody who's been identified as being involved saying, what? No, of course not. It's definitely not me. This is crazy. What are you talking about? No, I was over there doing stuff. I was busy. Okay, well, wouldn't that mean you had a front row seat to what was going on? So you couldn't speak up, or you couldn't do something? You couldn't make something go better? Oh, well, there's an issue here because it's that's not what I was supposed to do, but I could see that something bad was happening. It's making me feel like a good example or cultural reference would be, and I use the word good lightly because it's actually a very depressing commentary on society, but the whole idea of being a bystander or being a witness, seeing some sort of a crime but not speaking up, that kind of thing. We've got somebody here who wants to pretend like they were clueless, wants to pretend they had no idea what was going on, but they were right there. So it's like you can't really use that excuse, or it's obvious to somebody that what's going on is dishonesty. Like, okay, this is the Black Tarot. Good question. What else do we have? The Star in the reverse. The Five of Swords in the reverse. Nine of Swords in the reverse. Just a whole bunch of blaming everybody else going on. I want the spotlight to be on you, or I want you to, investigate that person, or why don't you go talk to them? They'll tell you what really happened. But the reality is all three of these people are freaking out like, oh God, I don't know what to do. This is going to be a problem. Well, yeah, it is, because nobody's going to take responsibility. But if nobody takes responsibility, then it's just kind of like a random, we'll see what the public decides. We'll see what your mom decides. I don't know. The truth's going to come out. We've got the sun. So whatever they're saying, whatever they're trying to use as excuses, it doesn't seem to matter. Like, lie at your own risk. You're going to look a little bit foolish. So someone knows the truth, or something was like captured on a video, whatever it is. It's like, you can only play this like hot potato game for so long before the truth is going to make it very clear that maybe everybody dropped the ball. Maybe everybody's somehow responsible, right? We've got the Seven of Spheres, or the Seven of Pentacles, with the Three of Pentacles, or the Three of Spheres. So yeah, it's like, for me, saying everybody's at fault. Everybody contributed to this. Page of Swords, King of Cups in the reverse, and the Two of Wands in the reverse. There was information that was not taken into consideration, or someone was kind of pouty or being difficult. So we've got people that were not really working on the things they needed to, or people that were not really planning the way they needed to. Like, if you have a deadline for tomorrow and you haven't started on it, most of you would be feeling anxiety, right? This is somebody who knew there were things that weren't getting done, but they're just kind of like, whatever. Got important things to do. Maybe because I'm headed out of town. What else do we have? Five of Wands in the reverse. Eight of Cups. And the Ten of Swords in the reverse. The lies, or the misdirections, or the hot potato game, none of it is actually helping the way these three were hoping that it would. Instead, it seems to be like kind of making everybody mad at these three individuals even more so. Like, oh, okay, so nobody wants to take credit. That's great. Nobody wants to be held accountable. So you're all just like running away from the scene of the crime, and you don't think there's going to be any consequences. I think there are going to be consequences. All right, this is the Tarot of the Nile. What else do we have, please? Hey, Spoons. Hello, Bradley. How you doing today? Eight of Cups in the reverse. You can't walk away from this one. Star in the reverse. Again. Yeah. We've got a refusal to do what the directions told you to do, or what is like your responsibility, right? And so whatever I'm trying to walk away from, or whatever I'm trying to be like, oh, that's not my responsibility. That's weird, because like right here, it says your responsibility. So whatever they tried to claim as, oh, well, that's why I didn't have to do anything. That's why I wasn't the problem. it gets cleared up or clarified and they look kind of foolish within like, I don't know, 36 hours, 48 hours. It's like, no, it's very clear. There's an audit trail or there's some sort of like, I don't know, emails. It's like, okay, so like right here, am I seeing that wrong? What's going on here? Nine of Wands, Eight of Wands, Seven of Swords in the reverse, Wheel of Fortune, and the Hermit. So because we've got somebody who is highly defensive, or maybe even three people that are very defensive, I think this actually makes it a bigger problem than it would have been. I want to say this is like the Barbra Streisand effect. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it's like when you like throw a fit about something, you're like, well, I can't believe you're doing this. And you don't want people to pay attention to something, but then you like complain about it, then more people start to find out about it. I feel like we've got somebody who's like making a big stink or trying to like deny it's not my fault, no big deal, but they end up making it a bigger deal than if they had just been like, my bad, I probably should have handled that better. Would have been way less pain for them. But instead, now we've got somebody who's saying, okay, so if none of you want to be honest, if nobody's going to tell me what really happened, then I'm going to take a fine-tooth comb to the situation and find out the truth. So with the Wheel of Fortune, after we had it in the reverse up here, I feel like this is a big change that happens because of some sort of investigation or truth seeking. Let's find out who lied. Let's find out what really happened, because none of y'all want to be honest about what happened. Okay, then I will find the truth myself. Hey, Lemonade, how's it going? Oh, thank you, Rachel. Six of Pentacles in the reverse, Two of Cups in the reverse. We do have a falling out in a friendship. This could be like, you know, professional colleagues too, but this is saying now that it's either you or me, and I feel like you've thrown me under the bus, I'm gonna throw you under the bus too. There may even be a little bit of like making it seem like someone else has changed their story to implicate you just to get you to turn on them. You know what I mean? Oh, that sounds lovely, Lemonade. Four of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Magician. Everyone's focused on their own concerns, their own needs, their own reputation, their own situation. I'm going to hold back the actual truth, or I'm going to invent some sort of illusion and pretend that's how things went, because I need to be able to get what I want, because I want to be able to have the best possible outcome, because I don't want to be held responsible. This is just like me. Interesting. I think we have somebody who bribes another person, or somebody who pays someone else to do something to make it seem like they're not guilty. And this is what ends up causing them the worst of the worst. You know how they say it's usually not the crime, it's the cover up? That's what this is. Somebody's trying to make it look like it's someone else's fault. Someone's trying to erase some data or make it feel like, of course, it would be somebody else and not me. And that actually draws more attention to this person. Like, oh, okay, so you did lie and you lied a lot and you're the problem. Noted. This is the situations deck. What else do we have? Plugged, tuned in, internet, connected, trash. Oh, really? Discarding, throwing out, and happiness, wholeness, overjoyed, and smiling. I think we have somebody that posted something on social media and then deleted it very quickly. Or we might have something that was downloaded and that's what gets somebody caught up. Or we have verification of, electronic communication, like an email, for example. But this is like someone rejoicing because they're able to prove what really happened. They're able to find out the story. And it has to do with a smile too. Why is the smile important? Someone's faking their emotions about a situation. Today, present, now, in the moment, denial, not facing the truth, irrational reasoning, and protection. Okay, so we have someone who's smiling because they feel like they're untouchable, smiling because they feel like they can't get caught. No one will figure out what the truth is. But the reality is they're wrong. They're in denial about what is actually at risk or whether or not someone might actually be able to figure out the truth. And that means that they are, a little bit shocked when things aren't as they seem. When they start to realize that maybe their lies have actually been discovered, that maybe they're under investigation, that maybe they're not as smart as they thought they were. Not as protected as they thought they were. Personal power, crown, overestimating the ability to maybe hide things from the cops. Mirror, reflection, convinced that I could make somebody else look guilty or even frame somebody. Again, this is somebody who's wanting to lie about the situation because I want someone else to look guilty. So that makes total sense. I told you there's something here to do with a smiley face. I think someone betrays their lies, or they make it obvious that they're lying about something because they smirk. Makes me think of, I think Amber Turd had that situation in a courtroom. I will never say her name the other way, just so you know. Power lines. There's someone here who felt like they were untouchable, felt like they could make this particular accusation or situation look less incriminating or make somebody else look like they were the problem. But the person they're trying to make look guilty or the person they're lying about is protected. So nice try, but no. This is the Gypsy Oracle. What else do we have? Thank you. I'm glad you do. Merchant. Prison. You made a deal with somebody that you shouldn't have. You sold something you shouldn't have. You bought something you shouldn't have. You traded something you shouldn't have. I don't know, but we definitely have somebody that could go to jail for this. And we have somebody that is perhaps a bit naive. They don't think there's actual consequences for them because they feel like they can manipulate the situation or they feel like they can manipulate others around them. Thief. Who did it? Who done it? Everybody's trying to say it's somebody else. But we've got a hermit, an investigator, a detective, somebody who I think is about to discover what really happened, despite someone's best efforts to cover up the truth. Wife in the reverse. Surprise in the reverse. Okay. Sometimes if you feel like you're dealing with someone who is only ever going to lie to you, maybe the best case scenario to get the truth is to talk to somebody who knows them. Talk to somebody who also talks to that dishonest person. I feel like we have somebody talking to the significant other of one of these 3 of cups, right? One of the people that could have been involved in a crime. And it's because someone smiles, somebody smirks, and it's like they betray that they know something that happened, or that they expect that their spouse or their significant other would absolutely rob that from the bank, or would absolutely, throw that at somebody's vehicle. Whatever it is, it's like, I mean, the smile gives them away. I don't know, man. There's just like a facial reaction that betrays this person who's trying to lie about what they've done or their involvement. We could have somebody who feels like they're going to benefit financially because their partner has committed some sort of fraud or taken somebody's valuables. But we've got friend in the reverse and soldier. Yeah, I think we have a connected individual, someone who knows the accused very well, who betrays some information to the investigator to kind of help them figure out this is the person that you can get more information from, or this is the reality of the situation. Maybe even confirming for this hermit or investigator that they are right and this person's lying, or they're all lying. Hey, Key Controller, how are you doing? This is the Crow Tarot. Page of Cups in the reverse and the Empress. I'm telling you, I feel like this is a partner who doesn't show remorse or doesn't feel like it's a problem. They smile or they laugh when they should be concerned about something. And it betrays the real attitude of the group or the person. Ace of Swords in the reverse and the Ace of Pentacles. So you lied about where you got that money. Pure and simple. You took something that wasn't yours and you don't want anybody to know, but someone's 2 steps ahead. Someone's already figured out why you're lying about this or why somebody laughed about that. Seven of Pentacles, 10 of Cups in the reverse, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. We've got betrayal, pure and simple, thievery, dishonesty about said thievery. And we may even have somebody who feels like they have to hide some money, they have to hide a valuable, or they have to hide some keys. It's like, I got to make sure nobody knows what's going on or that I have access to this. Seven of Wands in the reverse, trying to change passwords, trying to make it seem like I was somewhere I wasn't, making it feel like other people had plans or problems that probably led to that thievery or that crime. This is someone going to lengths, okay? Extreme lengths, trying to make other people seem like the problem. Little old me, I could never do any problems. Go over there. They're the guilty people, for sure. So we have the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse and the 7 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so sometimes I'm obnoxious. I don't know if you all already know that, but don't come after me. I finally watched Interstellar for the first time, okay? Now, I haven't really heard from other people what actually happened. I just remember that people were really impressed with the movie. I didn't remember who was in it, but there was one major thing that, being my obnoxious self, I predicted, and I kind of ruined the movie for myself. But I didn't buy into the illusion. I was like, okay, you're a liar. I feel like that's the energy for this hermit. They're just analyzing or listening to someone. They're like, you ain't right. You're lying. Yeah, nope. Oh, for sure. You're lying. What evidence do I have? None. Zero evidence. Did I know? Yeah, I think we've got somebody who's very, very confident. I can lie to you. I can tell you a different story, or I can create some false evidence, false data, and you'll never know. It'll be great. And you'll go follow that false lead, and I'll be over here haha, you never figured it out. Nope. The hermit is This looks like really lame. Did you edit this? Did you like create this? I feel like we have somebody who gets called out over this lie or this illusion that they're trying to peddle or get someone to believe. And this investigator or this hermit is like, nice try. Nope, don't believe it. Four of I am not buying what you are selling. So like you could keep it moving. This person fails to convince you or convince the hermit that it's a different problem or a different person. Of course I don't have that money, or of course I would never steal that car, or no, I'm just fine. I'm a good person. Never broke a law ever. What was it that... Oh God, what's her first name? Okay, so the Saperstein twins, right? Is that the name? The chick, what does she say? Like, I've never done anything wrong my entire life, ever. Okay, honey. Yeah, sure. It's like this person is, for some reason, believing that they can just look at the hermit or like the investigative energy and be like, oh, no, I would never do something like that. And they expect the investigator to be like, oh, okay, check mark. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Now I know you're totally innocent. No, whatever you did that you thought would get me to investigate other people or clear your name really only just made me feel like you were more likely to be the problem. Hey, Peggy, how are you doing today? What else? Page of Wands in the reverse, Strength, and the Three of Cups again. Trying to make somebody else look like they're the problem, but I'm hoping you will ignore the fact that there's clearly data or information that makes it quite obvious that I lied or that it can't be true, whatever it is that I stated. But we've got someone who feels like they are very good, very talented at calming people down or getting them to believe certain things. I feel like they're very influential. But I'm just going to go ahead and say, if you feel like you're a very influential person, you can persuade people to believe things, or you can win people over with your charm. Like, try it with anybody else but a hermit. A hermit don't give up, okay? A hermit's going to be like, oh, that's nice. I'm going to make my own conclusions, thank you. I'm not just going to believe what you say. The hermit is the person that will go against what everybody else believes because they feel like it's true. So like if you want to like create an illusion for someone, the hermit is really not the one. The hermit is like, I'm used to being on my own, okay? I'm used to nobody agreeing with me. That's nothing new. So congratulations on your lies, but I'm not going to like follow the crowd. I'm not going to believe you. I know you're lying. Knight of Swords in the reverse. They get frustrated. They're like, what do you mean you don't believe me? Everybody else does. Yeah, that's part of the problem. I can tell. You know? So we've got the Ten of Pentacles. This is about a lot of money. Or something very expensive. This is no joke. I do feel like this is something that is, it impacts families or like a legacy. So this could be like an inherited piece of jewelry, for example. This could be property. But I think we've got legal connections here. So a judge, a lawyer, a cop, someone here who's like, no. I'm going to make sure I find out the truth. I'm not going to just buy whatever it is that you're trying to tell me, because I feel like there's something here in your story that doesn't add up. And I think you might be a little bit greedy. This person who's lying, it's like they betray themselves based on how they act. They make it very clear they're materialistic, or that they feel entitled to certain things. Why am I so focused on this bird? Why does this bird have a hat? Wait, Is that a hat? Are they supposed to have a little... Okay, check it out. This bird up here. Do you see how there's like red above the head? I don't know if that's just like, I have these really cool feathers because I'm a badass bird and I needed to have something that made it clear that I was, in fact, a badass bird. But to me, it was like this bird is wearing a little hat. I feel like there is information. We could have somebody who's spying. We could have somebody who has access to social media. We could have somebody who figured out phone or GPS records. But it's like, no. You can lie all you want, but I know what you've been up to. I know you're lying. Hello, Voyager. How are you doing? All right. We'll go with this True Crime Oracle deck and see if we get something confirming this thievery. Nice. Okay. So we've got celebrity and tunnel. So this could involve someone who's a little bit self-important. This could involve somebody who feels like they're very popular or that they can convince others to believe them. But with this tunnel, I feel like we've got, I mean, the saying is light at the end of the tunnel, right? There's like a little bit of a delay. There's some need for doing additional discovery. But this hermit individual is not afraid of doing that. And I do feel like they discover something that was hidden, something that was not meant to be found, but they are good at their job. Missing. Okay, so I think it's an envelope of money or there's paperwork of some sort. There's details that I think confirm who did what they did. That the hermit finds. Missing check, missing will, but it definitely impacts a lot of money. Let's just get some advice from the Zodiac fortune-telling cards. What else do we have? I hope you feel better soon, hon. A long motor trip with a surprise at the end. Be careful in your business dealings for the next few weeks. Help your friend who is in need, and he will bring you good luck. And you are loved by all who come in contact with you. Aw, that's because you're so awesome. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? I can't leave if Carrie just got here. Okay, we got to get one more. We'll get a few cards from What's the News. How's this going to play out for this thief? I can see that. Brick wall, defense mechanism, guarded, hard to reach. This is someone who feels like if I don't give you any information or if I mislead you or if I make your job more difficult, I can get away with what I need to. I'll just make it impossible for you to get the information that you need. But they didn't. I'm telling you, there's a spouse or a partner here who reveals something, and I don't even know if they realize that they did reveal it. It's like they think they're being funny, they think they're being cute, but they betray some information or they clue this hermit into a particular direction, and that's when the hermit figures out what really happened. It's because of this like romantic partner. Honeymooning. Love on the brain, talking often, feeling all the feels. Bye, Felicia. Peacing out. Thank you, next. Leaving and not caring. So it's because of cutting someone off or saying, you know, I don't need you anymore, or we're not friends, or I fell in love with somebody else, so I don't want to see you ever again. These are things that could have played into the thieving, the criming. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.